What's up guys, it's ExitSign250. This is going to be the part 2 video to my 10-year anniversary special that was on my main channel. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. It'll kind of make more sense. So this is pretty much the overflow questions that I had that I couldn't answer in the main video, so let's get into it. Yo, it's future ExitSign250 here. I'm editing both of these videos right now, and I had some questions in the main video that I couldn't keep in just for time reasons, so I wanted to still answer them, so I'm putting them in this video. And of course I recorded these at 2 different times, so that's why the backgrounds are changing. I just wanted to give you all a heads up if you were wondering. What is the rarest fire alarm in your collection? Asks Dabbits. So rarest fire alarm, I do have a lot of rare stuff. Oh, that's another question I'll have to think about because I have a variety of old and uncommon things. Maybe the rarest thing I can think of off the top of my mind is probably this. This is an old Gamewell pull station. I probably should make a video on this. I got it from a building, a very old building that was going to be demolished a few years ago, maybe in like 2018. And so you pull this down, and then you pull that down, and it's activated, and then you insert a little key to reset it. And then there's the back. It's actually got a mercury switch on the inside. So I probably should make a video, but I've never really seen these before at all. I don't know if any other collectors have them. So yeah, pretty cool. 405080 asks, will you ever do a home system again? So the thing with that, I probably won't when I'm living in this house. Since, you know, it's my parents' house, whatever, they don't really want a home fire alarm system like with panels and pull stations and stuff. But eventually I plan when I, build my own house or get my own house or whatever, I want to put in a fire alarm system for protection, less for the hobby aspect. So one day in the future, you'll probably see my home systems come back again, but as of right now, I won't. That one Canadian asks, what was the idea of your channel being dedicated to exit signs? Who was the person that made you get into fire alarms? So I wouldn't say my channel is 100% dedicated to exit signs. Of course, I make videos about all sorts of fire safety and electrical stuff. I guess if you want to ask my name, why my channel is called ExitSign250, that's because I think exit signs would probably be my favorite hobby out of everything, so I just wanted to make it say that. And then I don't think there was really a person that got me into fire alarms. Again, it was more I heard them for the first time and thought they were cool. But of course I got inspiration from some of the classic alarm YouTubers like New Age Server Alarm and people like him. Those are always fun videos to watch, especially when I was little. The next 5 questions come from Sly Fox Alarms, and they ask, what got you into the hobby of fire alarms, security systems, exit signs, traffic lights, and more? What is your dream job? Do you have any pets? What is one device you want but can't get? And lastly, will you join the Fire Panel, Life Safety Forum and Community? So I'll try to tackle all those quickly. So the first one with the hobby of fire alarms, of course, I've already gone over that. Same with exit signs. Security systems, I don't actually remember. I know at one point when I was little, that my home alarm system, we accidentally set it off. Maybe that's what got my interest. I don't really know 100%. For traffic lights, again, I couldn't tell you. I've probably liked traffic lights and signs since I liked exit signs for some reason. Again, I don't remember. And then for electrical stuff, when I was little, I stuck my finger in an outlet like twice. So maybe that's why I'm interested in electrical stuff. So what is my dream job? I want to become an electrician, and I want to do, normal electrical wiring in buildings and houses and stuff like that. But I also want to do like fire protection stuff as well. And as of me recording this video, I'm in talks with a company, so hopefully soon I'll be working in the electrical and fire protection field. So I think my dream job might work out. I don't have any pets. I've never had any pets. So one device I want but can't get. I think I have that with all of my collections. Like with exit signs, there's this one golden exit sign I've been trying to find because I thought it was cool. And then there for fire alarms, like the space age light plates with a horn on it. Those are cool, but seem to be hard to find. And then lastly, with the fire panel forums, I've never really been a forum person. I really don't have an interest in joining the fire panel forums. I know it's a great place to, talk amongst, collectors and enthusiasts, but I've never really found an interest in that, so probably I won't join. An anonymous user asks, how did you get the passion for making fire alarm videos? So I think it was a combination. I wanted to share what I liked with other people, and because I saw other people do it, like especially I mentioned earlier, like New Age Server Alarm and people like him, like Charlie Davidson. you know, seeing all them and making videos, I was like, you know, that'd be cool if I would do it. So that's, you know, half the reason I saw some people doing it, and then the other half is like I wanted to do it because I thought it was cool. Croatian Alarm Guy asks, do you plan to do more security system tests? Do you plan to get European alarms? How does it feel like having more than 10,000 subscribers and being on YouTube for 10 years? So for the security system stuff, I guess you're talking about like my home alarm system. I'm only going to make videos of that when I change stuff, and I've changed nothing. I think I made the first video like 2 years ago. So eventually when I change stuff up, that's when I'll make a video. And European alarms, I think it'd be interesting to get like a call point or like a sounder. I just have never really looked for any, so maybe at some point I'll try to get some. And with the 10,000 subscribers and being on YouTube for 10 years, weird and weird. I feel like it's weird having, because I think I'm close to 13,000 now, which for what I do is really wild to me. And then 10 years is also something really crazy. Because it's, I don't know, I just wouldn't imagine myself doing this for this long. So it's been fun and it's crazy. I know I keep saying that, but it's awesome, I guess. That's what I want to say. So these next questions are going to talk about like costs of stuff, which was a really popular question. It's kind of funny. So the real LDI or something like that, sorry if I butchered your name, asks, how much does all of your fire alarm devices cost at once, including your exit signs? Super hard question. I have no idea because I've collected for over 10 years now. And let's just say, just for sake of argument, that each thing is like 20 bucks. On average, that's how much stuff costs, like fire alarms, exit signs, whatever. So if I said earlier I had 282 stuff, or things, I guess, in my full collection, I guess that's fire alarms and exit signs, that's like what? Like $6,000, and that's pretending that everything's 20 bucks each. And some things are less, some things are a lot more. So we'll just say probably like $10,000. I have no idea if that's counting everything. Next question comes from Dimitriovido. Again, super sorry if I didn't say that right. They ask, how much have you spent on fire alarms throughout your YouTube career? Again, saying stuff is 20 bucks each. I mean, a lot of money, I guess. Again, for fire alarms themselves, I mean, there's panels. Panels are expensive, you know, getting rare devices. I'll still say like $5,000, probably a little more though. Base Ballion 16 asks, how do you get 4 panels, devices, exit signs, emergency lights, door closers? How much was it? So again, like we've been saying, really expensive. And if you're asking, how do I get stuff? I would say 90% of my entire collection of everything is probably eBay listings I buy stuff from. That's probably the best place to find things. And then I would say the other 10% is a combination of like antique stores, restores, getting stuff from people that are replacing things. But again, majority of it's eBay. From RSS Safety, they ask, how did you get 4 panels? I'm guessing you mean the fire alarm panels I have on my board. Fun fact, I do have a couple more panels too, but we'll just stay with these. So this panel I got from Best Security Systems. They were nice enough to send me pretty much a whole system. So that's the addressable Firelight MS9200 UDLS stuff. This panel I got on eBay, same with this annunciator. I've had these for a long time now. These are in my old home systems. And then the EST fire shields that you can't see that are over there. The 3-zone one I got on eBay for like a steal. I think I paid like 50 bucks for it, and it was brand new. And then the 10-zone EST fire shield I got from a fire alarm, it's like a fire alarm installation place. They ripped it out because I guess, I don't remember what zone, but it was fried, so it would just constantly stay an alarm. So I got that from them, again for free, so pretty cool. From David Ortiz 8594, they ask, what's your favorite fire alarm brand? I would say generally it's Firelight. I just like their interface and panels and stuff. I know people kind of don't like them because they're too basic or whatever, but I've always liked them personally. Let's see. Snowco Elevators asks, what are your thoughts on the EST Integrity chime strobes? Let me go grab them actually. Since I have in my collection, it might be easier just to show them. Alright, so here is an Integrity chime strobe. I have 2 of them. I didn't pull the other one out. They're pretty cool. Definitely uncommon. I just realized I wasn't looking at the camera. I was looking at the microphone for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, pretty cool devices. I guess they have an interesting sound, and they have like the little adjustment thing on the back. So I guess pretty neat. They're pretty nice chime strobes. I wouldn't say they're my favorite chime strobe, but they're neat, I guess. I like them. They're pretty nice to have in the collection. Okay, moving on. D. Goodall 5448 asks, System Sensor L series better or the Spectral or Advance? Well, let me go grab those two just so we can see them. Okay, so here we go. L series and Advance. I guess my opinion, I don't know. I mean, I like them both, I guess. I don't know if one's really better than the other. I mean, allegedly the System Sensor L series draw less current compared to other stuff. Hence the L series, low, whatever. I guess design-wise, I mean, I don't know. I kind of, this is probably an unpopular opinion, I kind of like the L series a little more. I feel like it has more character to it, I guess. I mean, the Advance is still nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. If you're asking my personal opinion, I mean, maybe the L series, because it's kind of cool. You can change out the fire lettering with the little snap-on covers, you know, if you want to say something else. And I think with the Advances, you had to get them like custom print or something, if they even offered it. I don't really know, but anyways, so that's that. Okay, I have another one from Petunia Skunk, and they ask, can you try to collect a Canadian exit sign, the ones that say sortie, exit in French? Yeah, I've always looked for exit signs like that. I want to kind of get ones that, or I know this is going to sound weird, but it's like exit signs that aren't exit signs. They say other words. I'll show you one of my recent exit sign additions to my collection. So I guess sneak peek if you're an exit sign fan that watched my exit sign series on my main channel. So this is like the first exit sign I got that isn't the standard exit. This is actually a Chicago fire escape sign, because in Chicago sometimes you need other exit signs that say stairs or fire escape or whatever instead of just exit. So this is a edge-lit sign. It's pretty cool. I like the white background too. So this is like the first sign I have that's not just a typical exit sign, and I want to try to find more of these, even like the Running Man exit signs. So yeah, I do want to try to find other languages too. Like it would be nice to have like the Salida sign, you know, the Spanish version, and then the sortie would be kind of cool. Maybe one or two. I wouldn't want a whole lot of them, but yeah, that's something I've been trying to find. So anyway, where did I put my paper? Oh, here we go. All right. Next up, I'm trying to find my place. So this one comes from Open Tech Studio, and they say, or they ask rather, who's your favorite fire alarm YouTuber? I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of YouTubers. I don't know if there's one in particular that's my favorite. What's your favorite fire alarm, pull station alarm? I mentioned this in the first part. Again, I was so indecisive then. I really like the FCI MS2. I think I put it down somewhere. Here we are. Yeah, FCI MS2, probably my favorite pull station. But favorite alarm, that's a tough question. I mean, I like the Genesis, but then there's a couple other alarms I like too. So again, we'll just say Genesis, just for, I guess, so I'm not, I don't know, because I can't decide. Where am I? What was your first pull station and alarm? So again, I mentioned this in the first part, but first pull station, I'll just go over it again. So it was this. This is it. This is a BG12 that's completely broken and unusable. And then first alarm, like notification appliance, was this. This is a System Sensor SP2R122-4MC. It's a speaker strobe that I again completely destroyed. I think the strobe still works though. I might have even talked about this in the last video, but I thought, because I was stupid back then, I thought speaker strobes, when you apply voltage or power to it, it will start playing a voice evac message. I didn't know you had to have an amplifier or a voice evac panel. So I applied like 24 volts to it and I blew the speaker. So of course the speaker was done, but I was still able to use the strobe, I guess. But yeah, so these were my first alarms. So anyway, I still like the System Sensor Spectral Art Classic speaker strobes. They're pretty neat. And so then they continue to say, what's your rarest pull station alarm? Again, I mentioned this in the first part, but it's, I would say, rare pull station, if you want to consider this a pull station, is this Gamewell station, which I pulled it last time. Pretty old. I don't think there's anyone else in the community that has this. And then rarest alarm, like notification, that's tough. Let me go look at my collection shelf and see if I can find anything that's pretty rare. Alright, so I don't really think I have any rare notification appliances. I more just have old stuff that I guess are uncommon because they're, older. But I don't think I have anything rare. So let's continue the questions. I keep putting down my question paper and then I don't know where I put it. Here it is. Alright. What's a beginner pull station, or what's a good beginner pull station? What's a good beginner panel? So beginner pull station, I don't know, BG12, like right here. That's always been my favorite. It's still a favorite of mine, but it's a nice beginner one. Or like a Simplex T-bar. I think I have a 4251-20 sitting around, yeah. So Simplex T-bar, either the older ones or the newer ones. I guess you really can't go wrong with any pull station. If you want something nice and basic, a T-bar is pretty iconic. BG12s are nice. Beginner alarm, same deal. You can get an EST Genesis. They're pretty small. They're pretty basic. There's only 2 wires. Then you could get other stuff like something system sensor. There's a lot of options. Maybe like a Genesis, though. I kind of like those. They're smaller. Beginner panel. So my opinion with beginner panels, if you're new to all of this, like maybe you don't know so much about wiring, I would say the Firelight MS2 or MS4 or SK2, SK4, those are the Silent Night versions. Because it's so basic, there's really not a lot that's confusing. But unfortunately, I think here recently it's getting hard to find those panels on eBay for decent prices. Like a long time ago when I got my Firelight MS2, I think I spent like $100 for it. But nowadays they're going for like $500, sometimes more, maybe a little less. But to me, it's not worth it, spending all that money for something that's pretty basic. I know another panel I like, maybe not so much a beginner one, but it's like the Firelight MS5UD, MS10UD. I like to think of it as like a hybrid between addressable and conventional because it's got the screen, you can hook up annunciators, and you can program stuff on the screen, like different zones, the names of it, but it's kind of more complex, I guess, because there's programming involved and there's more terminals. So maybe if you can find one of these two, if you're confident enough, but, something conventional, though. I wouldn't get something addressable. And then they say, thank you for taking the time to do this, and congratulations on having 10 years. I don't even know how old my channel is, LOL. Hopefully I can get up my subscriber count soon. Yeah, there you go. Stuff like that takes time to get an audience. Again, here I am 10 years later. So yeah, but best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll make great videos. So, and thank you so much for writing the questions to me. I appreciate it. And yeah, again, 10 years is super crazy. So moving on, this is from an anonymous user, and they say, when did you get your MS5UD, and which of your panels is your favorite? So I got the MS5UD maybe, and this is just my memory right now, I could be wrong, maybe like 2017, 2016 maybe, because then I had this as my home system for a while. And then favorite panel in my collection, I really want to say it's the MS5UD. I have like, let's see, I have these 4, I have the EST2, I have my old Firelight MS2 that doesn't work, and then I have this old Protect-A-Wire panel that half works. I want to say this is, I like the addressable stuff, it's fun and all, but I think the MS5UD is probably my favorite in my collection, I think. The Cleaning Robot channel asks, have you ever done a voice evacuation system before? I actually have, and it was on this demo board. I built a homemade voice evac panel, and I actually completely recorded the video, and it's still unreleased, but I'm probably not going to release it. I wasn't really happy how that video came out, but I do plan on making a couple voice evac systems in the future. I might rebuild that panel to make it a little nicer. I've always thought about getting like a real voice evac panel, but the only thing with those is you're kind of limited on voice messages. For the most part, I kind of wanted to switch up, different voice evac tones, messages from different brands, but it's kind of hard to do that on a true voice panel, so that's why I wanted to build my own. But yeah, I do plan on making a voice evac system at some point, maybe a few videos of that. Fire Alarm Chief 101 asks, after each system test that you do, what do you usually accomplish? I don't really know what that means. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm really, the only thing I'm accomplishing is making the video for you guys to watch and, you know, have fun watching it and stuff. I mean, I guess it's fun for me to, you know, play around with the systems, but I don't know if there's really anything I'm accomplishing, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just not understanding the question. ADA Alarms 2009 asks, how often do you make electrical videos? So with the electrical videos, it's pretty much anytime I have an electrical project that I think would be good for a video. I think my most recent electrical video, and this is all on my main channel by the way, was a old 2-prong outlet that I replaced with a 3-prong outlet, and I put a GFCI breaker on it. I thought that would be a fun video. I do other electrical projects from time to time, but I don't really think they would be the best video. But it's pretty much when I'm working on an electrical project that I think would be a nice video to make is when I upload electrical videos. Luigi Boy, or I'm sorry, at Luigi Boy asks, what was your first fire extinguisher? My first fire extinguisher that I looked at and stuff like that was this Kidde residential one with the plastic curb handle, just a 2.5 pound ABC one, which that's the one my parents bought a long time ago. And then after that, I really don't remember what personal fire extinguisher I bought, like for fun. Maybe some Kidde model, like one of the recalled ones before they were recalled, but I think I could be wrong in all of that when I got one. So it was something Kidde, I'm sure, something residential. An anonymous user asks, can you activate board 1 in continuous? If not, can you then pull all of your pull stations in your collection and give a tutorial on how to reset them? I've done continuous on board 1 before with stuff. I think it just depends on what alarms. And that's actually an interesting video, so I guess pulling everything and resetting everything. Yeah, that might be a fun video to make. I know there's been a couple other users that have made videos like that, so I don't really want to copy them, but if I can do my own spin on it, maybe I'll make a video like that. That's kind of interesting. The Lighting Exciting asks, will you ever make a large traffic light setup in a garage or a larger backyard space? So I've always thought about this. I've always wanted to make like a huge traffic light, traffic signal, you know, thing. I've seen a few people do it before. My problem is space. I don't really have a big garage I could do this. And if you watch my traffic signal videos, I kind of have a smaller backyard space, so I'm limited. Eventually, you know, in the future, if I get my own big garage or have a big backyard space, I would like to, but as of right now, it's kind of tough. Let's see, EAK asks, will you replace your security system? Maybe. I've thought about that. I mean, the one we have now, it's an older DSC Power Series. I think it's like PC410 is the model. It's fine. I mean, yeah, it's old, but it's like it does what it's supposed to, and there's nothing wrong with it. Of course, if it goes bad or stops working, I will, but I feel like there's no reason to replace it. But maybe, and if I do, I'll make a video. And speaking of security systems, Fire Alarms and More asks, will you make a new security system video? I feel like I might have answered a question like this on the main part 1 video, but if I didn't, I pretty much do security system videos whenever I make a change, and I haven't made a change in 2 years. I think the first video came out 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't done any updates to it. So if I ever do an update, that's when I will make a video. Okay, this next question's kind of long. It's from Hades Stamp, or Hades Stamp, something like that. I'm probably not saying it how it's supposed to be pronounced. And they say, how do I get into fire alarm collecting for relatively cheap? Starting small, of course. So there's kind of some controversy, especially recently in the eBay like fire alarm community, because people are selling stuff for crazy prices, and it's like they're overpricing stuff. And I agree, like simple things are really expensive nowadays. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of dumb, because used to, like, you know, stuff like this was like 15 or 20 bucks. And I swear the other day I saw a normal BG12 for like $60 some. Not addressable, not key lock, just a standard BG12 for like 60 bucks. I'm like, that's dumb. And then there's other listings like that. So, I mean, you just have to keep your eyes out for stuff, I guess. Like if you can find some cheaper devices, because they come around every so often, but they're not as common anymore, unfortunately. And then how many fire extinguishers should a house have at minimum? Is two, one, wait, is two, they say is two, one, and one none? Maybe they say like how many, like one enough, two enough, whatever. It depends on your house size. I mean, if you have like a small one-story house, I would say a 2.5-pound ABC unit is sufficient. But if you have like, you know, a 2-story house, 3-story house that's pretty bigger, you might consider like a 5-pound ABC. It really just depends on your house size. Then they say, are frosted strobes always non-ADA compliant, or are there ones that are actually compliant? No, all frosted strobes are, pretty much all of them are non-ADA because they don't have the correct light output, I think, is what I remember. But yeah, pretty much no frosted strobe is ADA compliant. What is your opinion of lights instead of strobes? What about in addition to strobes? Lights are cool. They're more cool for like vintage appeal. I wouldn't use them in a real building because they're so dim, for the most part. I would prefer strobes. I think they're brighter and they kind of grab your attention better. And plus, they're required by code. You can't use lights anymore. But if you used it in addition to strobes, I mean, to me that's kind of redundant because, again, lights and strobes are for visual, so I feel like it would just be one or the other. But, I mean, for collecting and vintage stuff, I like lights because they're kind of cool, they're different. But for modern use, I would say strobes are the best. What's your favorite notification appliances and pull stations? I've talked about that. Bells, horns, or chimes. I mean, I don't really have a favorite bell. Chimes, I kind of like the EST Genesis chime. It's pretty neat because it's, you know, small or whatever. The system sensor ones are neat too. The classic ones, I don't know where mine is at the moment. It's probably somewhere in my collection shelf. What's your opinion of red exit signs? I mean, they're standard. They're pretty much the normal. I mean, they're cool, I guess. I think I prefer green a little bit better. And then they say, do you ever want to smash traffic light controllers that are in service on the road? No. I don't know why I would, because that's illegal for one, and then that would just mess up the intersection. So probably not. I would say no. John the Train Fan asks, what's the most popular fire alarm in your collection? That's a tough one. I mean, popular as in like popular in buildings, or like popular amongst like collectors. I mean, the BG12 is super popular. Of course, the T-bars. I mean, stuff like that, I guess. True Alerts, maybe. Advance. I think I have another question. It might be one more. This question comes from TFEAS09, and they say, or they ask, will you make a CO alarm system board with alert strobes? If I had the room, I think that'd be cool. Like maybe some sort of mass notification system. As of right now, again, me living here, I really don't have the room. I just have this demo board and the other one, so I don't have room to do it. But if I ever had like this huge room, I would probably put a bunch of demo systems in there. So yeah, that'd be a fun one. But as of right now, I don't think I'll make some sort of alert system. Will you consider purchasing a UK fire alarm sounder for your system? I've thought about that. Again, someone asked this in the main video about like European alarms, if I would buy any. I've always kind of wanted a call point or a sounder. I wouldn't collect a lot of them, but if I could get my hands on one, I think that would be fun. And then they say, I think you should, they're really cool. And then they say, could you purchase a new smoke detector like a Tyco 850P for one of your boards? Not sure if they can be bought off on eBay. I don't know what that is. That kind of that might be a European model. I don't collect smoke and heat detectors as much as I do with like pull stations and stuff. I don't know why I look down, you can't see it, but like pull stations, I don't really, like pull stations, notification appliances, I collect those more than like smoke detectors or heat detectors. My most recent smoke detector was probably the ESL one that was in one of my recent system tests. But every so often, if I find one for a good deal that's kind of cool, I'll buy one. I think that was the last bonus question. I'm trying to just make sure. Yep, that was all of them. So that'll do it for this video. Huge shout out to everyone that submitted a question. I'm glad I could answer them somewhere. So even if it was on a second part 2 video. So that's everything. Again, really crazy that my main channel's been around for 10 years and doing videos for that long. Still weird. So I guess that'll be it for this part 2 video. If for some reason you still haven't seen part 1, make sure to check out that. And that's everything I got. I appreciate you watching part 2, and I'll see you in the next one.